Welcome to this session with Free the Mind Co. in partnership with the New York Department of Education. This session will explain what SEL, Social Emotional Learning, is and why it is important to you and each individual in your family. What is SEL? Have you heard these words at your school or in your community? Let's go deeper into understanding what social emotional learning is. Social emotional learning is the deeper understanding of how our emotions, thoughts, and behavior impact our lives and the lives of others that we interact with, especially in the family. Social emotional learning is a process of how both adults and children learn skills and tools to understand and manage emotions, attitudes, and understand your mindset for yourself and how you engage with others that you meet, as well as in your family. Because there are so many dynamics that we have at home. Parents, children, children with children. So how do we interact with everyone? It has been shown that with a developed emotional intelligence and self-awareness, as well as social awareness, we as individuals succeed more in all areas of our lives, and our children achieve more in the academics at school. Our children also, and your children, make friends that are much more meaningful and authentic, and this carries over into your home, in the family. When we have the skills and tools and the deeper understanding, we feel way more comfortable in our daily lives to deal with and face both challenges that come up, as well as how we can create the life that we love to wake up to. And we all want that, don't we? Social emotional learning, or as everyone's speaking about it, SEL, is a way to teach the essential skills and tools to live a meaningful and fulfilled daily life. So, what do we need to look at and learn? Number one, a greater understanding of ourselves, which we refer to and we call as self-awareness. Number two, how we can better self-manage our emotions to regulate our reactions, especially when we face challenging situations. This helps us to steer away from aggressive behavior and make use of positive communication skills. Number three, the next point is responsible decision making. When we have a greater understanding of ourselves and others, we have a better perspective of how our choices will impact our lives and the lives of others. And that is in the present moment as well as in the future. As individuals, we never live fully isolated and alone. So number four is we are always in relationships, whether those are with friends, associates, teachers, and especially with our families and ourselves. In order to have positive relationships, we need relationship skills and skills for positive communication. Positive communication is always based on respect and love. It is not aggressive or undermining. We don't want to bring someone else down in the process. It is based on wanting to understand someone else's feelings and opinions. We do this by listening with compassion, empathy, and not judging or wanting to be right or give advice. Because sometimes, even though we want to help and we want to give advice, the other person isn't ready or doesn't want it. So it's always about taking a step back and seeing what the other person is actually asking or expecting from you. As you can see with this slide, as humans, we are multidimensional and complex beings. As we grow up and develop from children to adults, society, schools, culture, and the stress to achieve all impacts our thinking and emotions, which turn shows up in our behavior. One of the most important aspects of understanding ourselves and others is knowing that our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions create our thoughts, and our behavior changes when we change our emotions and thought. And that is managing and understanding who we are and the impact that we have on ourselves and everyone else around us, especially in the family. I'm sure you have all noticed this for yourself and for everyone that you're actually living with or interacting with. We all have emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Otherwise, we'd be robots, right? We know through research that each individual person has approximately 60,000 thoughts a day. Isn't that amazing? So let's do this activity together to show you how the connection between thoughts, emotions, and behavior work. It is important for us all to understand this in ourselves and others so that we can self-regulate and manage our lives, our thoughts, behaviors to live a happier and calmer life. Think of when you were upset. What were you thinking at that time? What emotions were you feeling? Now, how did you behave? How did you speak to others? And how did you speak to yourself in your own head? Now, let's change this to think of a time when you were happy. Now, how did you feel then? What were you thinking? So how did you behave when you were happy? How did you treat others while you were happy? Can you see the difference in your emotions, your thoughts, and your behavior when you're happy, sad, perhaps angry and upset? As you can see, we're holistic beings, mentally, physically, emotionally. They all work together, so you can't separate pieces of who you are. SEL, Social Emotional Learning, will give you, your family and friends the ability to have more control, to live a smoother, happier life for yourself and the world around you. The way we see it is that SEL is all about life. Every day, on all levels, encompasses SEL, Social Emotional Learning. Every choice you make, the way you run your day, the way you interact with your children, your partners, your friends, and the whole world. That is what SEL is, Social Emotional Learning. We hope you enjoyed this session and took a lot of value from it. We would love to hear from you, so contact us at Free the Mind Co. And we thank the New York Department of Education for the opportunity to partner with them.